I've got 5 Pro V1s on the ground here with a par 5 with a lot of water. So this could be the most costly golf video I've ever done. But this is all about trying to hit the 3-wood off the deck, because this could be a club. I think this is one of the hardest shots in golf, but it could also be a shot that is so helpful. Oh yes, 1 golf ball safe and dry. It's also so helpful to get the distance, particularly on holes like this. It's a par 5. We're at the Earth course at Jumeirah Golf Estates 2 days after the DP World Tour Championship has finished. 14th hole, into wind, water right, bunkers left, trees left. It's a brutal second shot, but you've got to be a little bit aggressive to get this up in and around the green so you can hit the green in regulation, to try and make birdie or secure your par, or worst case bogey. But you get the slight miss hit and you could be in the drink very, very easily. Now, how do you play this shot? How did I play that shot relative to maybe the last hole where I just played a 9-iron into the par 3? It's so different. We change our clubs every single shot. So it's so difficult to make sure that we go through the correct process. We adapt ourselves correctly to be able to perform this shot. Now, from a normal shot, I'd go the 9-iron I just hit on the previous hole, I'd have the ball position in the center of my stance. Obviously the shaft of the club's a lot shorter. Now, I'm going to put the ball position not in the position of the driver, but not in the center of my stance. So I often just kind of say there's 3 ball positions. You've got your driver on the inside of your lead heel. You've got your 7-iron to wedges in the middle of your stance. And then you've got everything else in between. So you've got a 3-iron, a hybrid, a 5-wood, a 3-wood, a 4-iron, whatever it's going to be. They go in between your driver and your 7-iron ball position. So your front and your middle go in between there. Now, I'm not telling you exactly because I don't know how you swing the golf clubs. Sometimes with ball position, it is a bit trial and error. If you're the type of golfer that swings it from out to in, which a lot of people know whether they swing it out to in or in to out. So out to in, you'd have the ball position further forward. Into out, you'd have the ball position further back. It's really, really important that you can gauge that. And don't always just go off what the textbook says. That's why I'm being quite vague with where I'm telling you where to put the ball position, because with this area, you need to be able to figure that out yourself. You need to go to the driving range and just give yourself a little bit of trial and error on ball positions. You might find that a middle of the stance 3-wood ball position is like a really nice consistent flight pattern. Excellent. You might find further forward is more of a consistent flight pattern. Excellent. That's going to be based on your golf swing. But what we can talk about is the rotation in the body. This is a real key one for this golf shot. You don't want to get all hands and arms, okay? And that's where a lot of people do, because they get worried about the shot. We start trying to steer the shot. And what I mean by steer it is kind of, you've already got that stress, anxiety and worry about where this shot is going to go. So you get a little bit static in your lower body, and then your arms just hit it, and you just try and like feather it down there. You can't get away with that on this type of shot. Once you've got ball position, what I want you to try and do here, I want you to get your lead hip just over your lead foot, but not your left shoulder, not your lead shoulder over your lead foot. Your body stays in the center. So your head position relative to this golf ball that's slightly further forward is going to be just behind it, or just on the edge of it, okay? So you're going to get your lower body forward. Why? Helps with strike. Helps put a bit more pressure into your lead side. Helps us get a bit more pressure into the lead side as we're striking the ball. We're not trying to hit up on this shot because the ball's not on a tee. If anything, we're trying to have a slight angle of attack that's hitting down on the golf ball as opposed to hitting up on the golf ball. And you might read some bits where it says, oh, be 0. You ain't in control of that. So I would rather you were 3 down than trying to be in control of 0. Give yourself a definitive position to be in. So lower, but you actually saw I had a little divot there anyway, so I was definitely 1 or 2 down, well, 1, 2 or 3 down anyway, because I hit the ground just after the golf ball. So my angle of attack was descending into the ball. I'm not trying to worry about just brushing the ground. So I do want to have a bit of an angle of attack that hits down. Clubbing behind the ball, ball position, go just back of the front or just forward of center. Lower body out towards the lead side, but I've still got to make sure I perform a full swing. I've got a nice 45-degree hip turn, nice 90-degree shoulder turn, And on the way down, this is the key one. This is where I see a lot of golfers not really perform great with this club. You've still got to get all the way through. Full rotation through the shot with your upper body or your lower body, okay? We've got to get this club face back to square. Really easy to leave the face open on this shot because there's so much speed. A lot of golfers then drag the club towards the ball, which leaves it open. So you got to get the feeling that the club's working downwards, get that transition nice as the body starts to rotate. Oh, pulled it a little bit left because I wasn't really aiming great, but I've absolutely bulleted it. Come and have a quick look at this divot. So to talk you through the divot, the ball, by the way, that was a beautiful strike. So the ball would have been there, okay? So that means my golf club was still, it hadn't hit the ground by the time it hit the ball. So we've hit the ball first, then we've just gone into the ground. Now, how far have we gone in? Hardly anything. There's a centimetre of divot there. That's 2 divots as well, by the way. So we've barely gone into the ground, but what it's allowed me to do is hit down on the golf ball. So that we can assume we've got an angle of attack that's a couple of degrees down onto the ball. For me personally, I'm a little bit more comfortable and confident that that is going to be a better strike than I'm always just trying to sweep it. Players that sweep it, I get worried that you might top it. You don't want to top it. So again, make sure we get that consistency. Consistency is key. So ball position, slightly forward of centre, back of the front, lead hip over the lead foot for a bit more pressure into that lead side. Really get that turn into the backswing. Spiral that right arm down, get that feeling that the rotation is happening naturally because the transition is under control. And we get another one. Oh, got this 3-wood on lock today. And I'm just adding to that very, very small divot. It's really important to understand how we strike this golf ball because it is a key shot. It's a shot that can be super beneficial to you, but it could also be an absolute card wrecker. That is why I feel like this is probably the hardest shot in golf that I see the majority of golfers try and hit. You don't try and hit a 50-yard bunker shot. You end up in a 50-yard bunker shot situation. You try and hit this. It's the second longest golf club in your bag with the second least amount of loft in the bag. So it's the hardest club to hit, okay? Trying to make sure we get the setup right, the fundamentals of the golf swing correct. We get that rotation, work down in front of the body and turn. See a little bit of a divot as well. So we're hitting down on the golf ball every single time, ever so slightly. Hit down on your fairway woods, on your hybrid, on your long iron for more consistency of strike. I'm getting a fuller face connection on the golf ball, and I know I'm gonna have better control. Get that sweeping, glancing blow, and if that face is ever so slightly open or closed, I could be in a bit of a trouble. Okay, so really work hard on that. It's a shot that I don't necessarily encourage people to use too often because it is that difficult, but it's also super rewarding. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I will see you next time.